Hey, Luke here with catsandcarp.com, and today I'm in Devon, England, and I'm going to show you how to fish a tiny little farm pond. This location is so idyllic. We're renting a cottage here on the property, and it gives us access to the farm pond and to a fly fishing river here on the property, but nobody seems to be using it. Just very, very low pressure. And unlike a lot of fishing lakes, these fish were stocked about 10 years ago and just left to their own devices. They're not hand fed. So these are much more wild fish, more like what we're used to fishing in the United States. So I'm really excited to try this out. The biggest difference I see with carp in small farm ponds versus other bodies of water is that these carp are much more skittish. Things that happen on the shoreline affect them a lot more than other fish. So in a lot of big city urban lakes, you can be as loud and as noisy as you want. It doesn't disrupt the carp because it's something they're used to. In big, huge lakes, it doesn't matter as much. Oh, look at that. Big old carp just jumped right in. Oh, they're just rolling all over here. So let's go get rigged up and we're gonna catch ourselves some carp. I've flown all the way to England here with my little travel set. I've got the Daiwa Liberty Club Short Swing 2270. It's a Japanese import surf rod, but it's extremely light and it's extremely light action. I got the Daiwa Tatula 2500 reel on here, and I've got some 30-pound braid on here, this ultra thin super line that Daiwa puts out. I think it's called J-braid. I've got 3 of these rods in here. I've got here a Japanese landing net handle that's about 7 feet long at telescopes. And I've machined an adapter that allows me to take this very fish-friendly Drenum coarse fishing net and screw it on to the Japanese handle. This is extremely light, much lighter than the European landing nets. And this is really great for smaller carp, which is what we have here today. I went and bought some of these pre-rigged up Fox number 8 barbless hooks, these little hair rigs, and we're gonna throw some of these on. But if you wanna see how to make your own hair rigs, I've done tons of videos about that. I'll put a link in the description. For a hook bait, I'm using this little piece of fake corn made by Corda. It's impregnated with a little bit of artificial flavoring, and I've had a lot of luck with these. To put bait on a hair rig, you need 2 things, a baiting needle and a bait stop. You pierce the bait with the baiting needle and you hook the baiting needle on a loop on the end of the hair, and then you slide the bait on, and then you take the little bait stop and put it on the end of the hair, keep the bait from coming off. Just above my leader, I have a 1.5 ounce Corda lead on a lead clip, and I like to use this type of lead because it's good when you're using pack bait, which is what I'm gonna do. So if you guys watch my videos a lot, you'll know that I love to use a strawberry sweet corn Ponko pack bait. In the UK, I get a lot of questions from people like, I can't find Jello, what can I use? And any sort of drink mix or dessert mix works. So you just want some artificial color and flavors. And I've got this Hartley's strawberry jelly mix. It's a little bit different than Jello, but we're gonna give it a go anyways. And I've got a couple cans of Ponko and some golden sweet corn. This Ponko I bought here in the UK is a little bit different looking. It looks a little bit more like a yellow powder, but we're gonna give it a go. Might have to add some lake water. In the States, we tend to use pack baits like this because we don't have access to boilies and other commercial carp baits. But here in the UK, sometimes it can be a challenge as well. It's an 1.5 hour round trip to my nearest tackle shop here, and I wanted to get started really early in the morning, so I'm just using things that I could get at my local grocery store. Oh, this stuff binds up really nice. Yeah, this stuff is not coming off. Tuck that hook right into the end of the ball, and there we go. When I'm fishing with multiple rods, I like to use bite alarms like this Delcom. It's great for allowing you to keep an ear out for what's going on with your rods while you're rigging up other rods, fiddling with your cameras, chasing kids, whatever. In this video, you see me using a lot of imported high-end carp fishing gear. It's great, it really helps out, but it's not necessary. You can catch plenty of carp using cheap rod and reel combos and a can of sweet corn and some very basic rigs. And before the end of this video, I'm going to demonstrate some tips for really easy, simple rigs and gear and how to catch carp with those. On my second rod, I've got a little pop-up boilie and a bag of crushed up boilies in a PVA bag. PVA is a water-soluble cornstarch-based plastic that dissolves in water. So as soon as this hits the water, the bag will burst open and spread out the chum, and the bag disappears and dissolves. The lead I have is on a British lead clip system, which is superior to our American lead clips because they don't tangle as much when casting. But they also have the added feature that this little tail rubber on the front, it comes on and off, which allows you to change out the leads. But what it does is if you just barely put it on there, just barely slide it on, when the carp grabs your rig and pulls and makes its first run, it'll eject the lead and dump the lead, so that you don't have to fight the fish with the lead on the line. This is really helpful because in a lot of British carp ponds, there's tons and tons of weeds. And if a big carp goes into the weeds, all that weed gets caught up on your lead, and then you're fighting a 20-pound fish plus 20 pounds of weed, and it's easy to lose a fish. So if you're fishing a farm pond with lots and lots of weeds, use an ejector lead system, and that'll help you get in fish even when you're fighting them in heavy weed. For my final rod, I've just got 3 kernels of sweet corn on the end of a number 8 hook hair rig. That's it. I'm going to chum out some sweet corn and throw this bait right on top of my pile of chum. I'm getting a lot of taps on this far left rod, but they're not hooking up. That's telling me that small fish are messing with my bait. Probably a little tench or something like that. Maybe an orf, I don't know. But that's the beauty of these hair rigs, is they help you avoid the smaller fish. And if you fish in an area with lots of turtles, this is a really great trick. Use a hair rig and some fake corn and you'll never catch a turtle. Use real corn straight on the hook, you'll catch a ton of turtles all day long, and it's miserable getting them off the hook. Well, I've been getting almost constant hits on the ponco bait, but little small fish just tearing into it. So a school of something is just eating up all my pack bait. The middle rod, which has the boilie, just got a really decent hit. So I think we're gonna get a fish any second now. Well, I've gotten tons of hits, but no hookups. I saw a lot of fish, but I've been here a couple hours. I need to go get some breakfast and see what the family's doing. So I'm gonna put this up for just a little bit, and we're gonna come back and hit this again real soon. So I'm back here fishing this spot, and I've got Tommy with me, and I've thrown out mostly the same baits with one exception. I took the rod with the boilie on it, and I've switched out with about 5 feet of 12-pound floating mono leader and just a number 10 hook and a piece of bread, and I'm gonna do a little surface fishing. Well, me and Tommy just saw a bunch of carp down there, so I'm gonna pick up my gear and we're gonna go down that way. There we go. Look at this. Look at that. Woo, what a stocky little guy. Beautiful, stocky little British common carp. Caught on some bread right on the surface. I just watched him suck it up just 10, 12 feet from me. There we go. Well, there you go. Sometimes less is more. One rod, number 10 hook, a little piece of bread, wandering around seemed to work a lot better than chucking out 3 rods. Well, that scared the crap out of the fish in this spot, so I'm gonna pick up my gear and we're gonna wander around the lake and check out some more bread and see if we can find anybody else willing to eat. So we just fling out some bread, you get away from the water's edge and just sit and watch. And if anything comes up and starts slurping the bread, then we go and cast it out. Otherwise, we move on. See that grass move over there? Oh, there you go, Tom. He's yours. Yours. Reel him in. Oh, he's a big one. I'm gonna go get the net.
He's heavy.
Get him. There we go.
I got
Raise your arm, kid. Hey, look
That's
at this.
Big one.
Put your arms underneath
so
him.
Big. I want.
Hey, hold him. Oh.
Oh, ow! Slipping away!
And he's released. Good job, Tommy. So Tommy, what did you think of that? Was that fun?
Yeah, that was great.
Well, the sun is setting and my sweet wife has brought me some tikka masala here. My first of many days fishing here in the UK has turned out okay. Took a little while to get dialed in, but turns out that surface fishing with bread has been the ticket. Just been having a ball doing that. But I'm going to sit here and eat my curry, and we're going to call it a day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Let's catch some more carp with bread. Oh, this bread's so good. There we go. Look at that, beautiful little comet. I watched him come up to me like 4 feet from shore, look me right in the eye and just go, "Hump." Oh, that was awesome. Well guys, it's our final evening here at the pond, and I've shown you that you can catch a lot of carp on the surface with bread with really simple rigs, but I'm gonna keep trying to show you a lot of different techniques here, try to help you out. Okay guys, so what we're doing is we're making PVA bags full of live maggots and pellets. These are little fish meal pellets, 6mm and 8mm pellets I bought at a local tackle shop. This is a thing of live maggots, and we're going to put it in this PVA bag. So why don't you dump a handful of maggots in there? Yeah, dumping them in there. On one of these I've got a maggot clip, and it's just like a giant safety pin, and you pierce maggots onto it. It's got a big glob of wiggling maggots on the end of a hair rig. There you go, we got the PVA bag with the pellets that we've chummed out and the maggots, and we're good to go. Okay, on this rig, I've got another hair rig, but I've got 2 pieces of Slim Jim, or pepperoni stick as they call them in the UK. And we're gonna use that with a combination of pellets and maggots. I'm gonna show you another bait here. Earthworms work really well for carp. That sheep saying, "Turn off the lights, I'm trying to sleep." A big, huge glob of earthworms. Carp love that. Get him. There you go. Oh, it is. Big carp. We got him. Put your hands under him. You know how to do it.
This is going to hold him tight.
What do you think? Is that cool?
Yeah, that's even bigger. Mom's going to be so proud of me.
Yeah, he is. Look at that, another beautiful common carp. This one was on the earthworms. That worked really well. Shall we get him back in the water?
Yeah, maybe we should use the earthworms more.
Okay, there he goes.
There he goes. Farewell.
Tommy, did you have a good time?
Yeah.
I did too, and I hope you guys enjoyed learning how to catch carp in small ponds. If you want to see more videos on how to catch carp, check out our playlist. I'll put a link in the description. And if you want to see our 3-week-long UK fishing adventure, check out my other channel, the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel. I'll put a link in the description to those videos as well. And remember, don't forget to
Like, subscribe. Nailed it.
we put out new videos every Saturday morning. Thanks for watching.